Alright, I'm going to quickly go through the orientation agenda, and you can find also the agenda in your teacher manual. It's on the first page here. So the first thing that's going to happen is the school teacher is going to pass around a sign-in sheet, and the sign-in sheet is in the orientation packet. So pass that around, make sure that each of the students and the mentors sign in and indicate whether they're a mentor or a student. In addition, the teacher is going to collect any other applications that students need to turn in and hand out any students that haven't gotten an application yet, hand those out. Then what you're going to do is introduce the staff. So the school teacher will introduce themselves and then introduce the nutrition intern. The nutrition intern is then going to explain to the students why SOS Mentor ShapeUp program is important. So there's talking points on what to kind of talk about in the orientation agenda, but basically you just want to talk about how the health of students has really been declining, and it's because of poor diets and not being physically active. So what the ShapeUp program does is really teaches students the importance of it and how they can eat more healthy and how they can get more physical activity into their everyday lives. And the main reason for the ShapeUp program is to really teach them to be advocates so that they can go out and spread what they learn in their communities. You can also kind of discuss with them what type of careers you can find in this field. So, talk about what is a dietitian, how do you become a dietitian. Maybe you can talk about being a kinesiology major and what kind of jobs can come from that. So different careers that are in this field. Okay, so then you're going to want to give the pre-tests. Again, those are found in the orientation packet. There's 3 tests that every student has to take, and they have to fill them out completely. It's really important for, we're nonprofits, so we get our funding from grants, and we have to report all the data that we collect. So there's going to be a nutrition knowledge test. There's 12 questions that, assesses what they know about nutrition. They're going to take it at orientation and then again at workshop 10. Then they're going to take a food and behavior checklist, and this kind of looks at what their normal eating habits are. And then the 3rd test is a personal self-descriptive questionnaire, and it kind of assesses how they feel about their body and their physical fitness. So make sure to tell the students that they have to put their name and their school on every single test because they're going to be separated out, and also make sure that they know to fill out every single question on all 3 of the tests. So the test should take about 20 minutes. After everyone has turned in their tests, then you're going to go over the student responsibilities, and you'll find this in the teacher manual. It's called ShapeUp Student Guidelines. So this talks about what's expected of them when they come, how to dress, how to act, no cell phones, and then also what it means to be a mentor. And then that'll be a good segue into the mentors can get up and introduce themselves, discuss what they do, and why they decided to be a volunteer in the ShapeUp program. The next thing that you'll do at orientation is give everyone an overview of the program. So you're going to explain that it's a 12-week program, their orientation, which is what you're teaching at the moment, and then there's a culmination at the end, and then the 10 weeks in between. The first half is where it's a series of 5 nutrition education workshops and 5 physical activity workshops where the high school students learn all the information, and then the second half of the program they're going to go to an elementary school and they're going to repeat those same workshops with the elementary school students. So that's why you'll find with these videos and everything, it's workshops 1 and 6, workshops 2 and 7. So we're just repeating then with the elementary school students. So explain the workshops to them and how the whole program works, and let them know on the physical activity days, they'll do physical activity once a week and they'll have their own personal trainer, so it's really awesome. And just make sure they know to dress appropriately because they're really going to be working out at these workshops. Then you're going to go into explaining the homework and prizes. So you'll find that in your teacher manual. And this is a point where you're gonna pass out worksheets to all the students, or not worksheets, but it's the incentive sheet and some other sheets that they'll need to refer to. All of these, again, are found in your orientation packet. So the first thing you'll go over is the incentive sheet. And read through this whole document with the students. It tells them how they can participate in the weekly raffles, what they need to do in order to get service learning credit, and what they need to do in order to get into all of the awards at the culmination event. So, for instance, for every student who has perfect attendance, they're going to get entered into a raffle, and there'll be 2 winners picked for this raffle. And they'll win gift cards or movie tickets, whoever wins those raffles. Then there's a raffle for 2 winners for completing at least 6 of the food and activity journals, which I'll talk to you about in just a minute. And then also a raffle for students who complete the Students Teaching Parents worksheet, which I'll also talk about. And then any student who gets entered into all 3 of these raffles get into another raffle where they can win an iPod Shuffle. And then the elementary school students also get to be in a raffle, but you'll explain that to them at Workshop 6 when you meet the elementary school students. So then you're going to talk about the food and activity journals. So each of the students will get a sample one like this, and they'll get a blank one as well at orientation. So the sample one shows pretty much how detailed we want them to get. Every single day, each week, for every meal they're going to write what they ate, snacks as well, and then over on the side they're going to put how much physical activity they get. And if they want, they can put their goals on the other side. So students are going to want to fill this out every single week and turn them in, and then they can be entered into a raffle. And it's not just for the raffle. It's amazing how much you can learn about how you're eating by just writing it out. I think people don't always realize, maybe they're skipping breakfast every day and didn't even realize it. So explain that to the students. Then you're going to explain the Students Teaching Parents worksheet. So what this is it's given out at Workshop 4 to the high school students, and then at Workshop 9 to the elementary school students. And along with the worksheet, they're also going to get a parent handout that they take home to their parents. And they're going to give their parents the handout, and then they're going to discuss everything they've learned in the ShapeUp program. And then together they're going to fill out the Students Teaching Parents worksheet. They fill it out together, the student turns it back in, and then they can get into one of the raffles at culmination just for turning that in. Okay, so that's it for the homework. And that's pretty much it for the orientation. The last thing you're going to do is pass out the raffle tickets and hold a raffle. And at orientation and at every single workshop, you can do 3 raffles for the high school students. And then once you get into the elementary school, you can do 3 for the elementary school students. And that's about it. So enjoy.